Let's discuss certain important MCQs that might come from the subject of anesthesia for your INI-CET exam. So because this is our first class, I want to discuss the most easiest topic so that we can get into the flow. So I'll discuss the first topic, or the first set of MCQs will come from a topic which is called as local anesthetics. Why this topic? Because if you see the last 3-4 years of INI-CET questions, you would have definitely seen a question from local anesthetics. And not just for the INI-CET exam, if you look at the NEET exam as well, they have asked a lot of questions from this particular topic called as local anesthetics. So without wasting time, let's talk about the one important MCQ from this particular subject. Okay. So the question is, all of the following agents are aminoamides except. Your options are lignocaine, bupivacaine, prilocaine, and bubocaine. I'll repeat the question. All of the following agents are aminoamides except lignocaine, bupivacaine, prilocaine, bubocaine. Right? This is a tricky question. I'll give you the answer first. The answer to this question is bubocaine. Right? Now let me explore, make you understand what this question is all about. So let me repeat the question here. They have asked about something which is called as aminoamides. Right? They have asked something which is called as aminoamides. So what does this aminoamides mean? This is basically about a classification of local anesthetic agents. So how do you think your local anesthetic agents are classified? If you look at your local anesthetic agents, the structure of local anesthetic agent, it has got an aromatic group and an amino group. It has got an aromatic group and an amino group. This aromatic group and amino group, they are linked by an intermediate chain. They are linked by an intermediate chain. This intermediate chain can either be composed of an ester linkage or it can be composed of an amide linkage. So this ester intermediate chain can either be composed of ester linkage or it can be composed of amide linkage. Based on this particular fact, your local anesthetic agents are classified as either ester local anesthetic agents or amide local anesthetic agents. And because they have an amino group in their structure, they are otherwise called as amino esters and aminoamides. Right? So once again, your local anesthetic agents are classified as ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic. Right? I'll discuss a few important properties of ester local anesthetic agent and amide local anesthetic agent. Right? Now, if you look at the term ester local anesthetic agent, it is very, very easy for you to understand one more important fact. The metabolism of your ester local anesthetic agents will be taken care of by an enzyme which is called as esterase enzyme. And the very, very common esterase enzyme that you would know is the pseudocholinesterase enzyme. So what is the first point that you have to understand? All ester local anesthetic agents are metabolized by one enzyme which is called as pseudocholinesterase enzyme or plasma cholinesterase enzyme. So when it comes to your ester local anesthetic agents, the metabolism is carried out by pseudocholinesterase enzyme or plasma cholinesterase enzyme. Now, whenever you have a point where it states all drugs are metabolized by, you always will have an exception, right? So all local anesthesia ester anesthetic agents are metabolized by pseudocholinesterase enzyme except one drug in ester local anesthetic agent category, and that is cocaine, right? That is cocaine. So cocaine is an ester local anesthetic agent, but that is not metabolized by your pseudocholinesterase enzyme. Cocaine undergoes metabolism in the liver. I'll try to take a new page for writing this down. So once again, if you look at your local anesthetic agent, your local anesthetic agents are classified into two. They are classified as ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agent. And what did I say? All ester local anesthetic agents are metabolized by pseudocholinesterase enzyme or plasma cholinesterase enzyme. And the exception to that particular is cocaine. Right? So you do have a few points that you should remember about cocaine, right? First point is it is an ester local anesthetic agent which is not metabolized by pseudocholinesterase enzyme. Cocaine is also the first ever local anesthetic agent ever used. Cocaine is also the first ever local anesthetic agent ever used. It was used by a person called as Karl Koller. Cocaine was used as a local anesthetic agent for the first time by a person called as Karl Koller. Now, this is a question. First ever used local anesthetic agent. Who used it for the first time? Karl Koller is also a question. Right? Now, cocaine is also the first ever agent used for spinal anesthesia. The first ever agent used for spinal anesthesia is also your cocaine. It was used by a person called as August Baer. It was used by a person called as August Baer, and that is why August Baer is called as the father of spinal anesthesia. In fact, when August Baer performed this procedure called as spinal anesthesia using cocaine, it was not called as spinal anesthesia. It was called as cocainization of spinal cord. Right? And one more important point that you would remember about cocaine is a local anesthetic agent with vasoconstricting property. If you remember, or if you know already, all local anesthetic agents are generally vasodilatory in nature. There are certain local anesthetic agents at low doses which produces vasoconstriction property, but generally your local anesthetic agents are vasodilatory in nature, except cocaine. So cocaine is an exception to this particular rule. Cocaine produces vasoconstriction. And why do you think cocaine produces vasoconstriction? Because it inhibits the reuptake of adrenaline and noradrenaline. So it is an indirectly acting sympathomimetic agent. So cocaine is an indirectly acting sympathomimetic agent. So just look at the number of MCQs that we have just discussed in cocaine. Cocaine is a local anesthetic agent. It is not metabolized by pseudocholinesterase enzyme, MCQ number 1. It is the first ever used local anesthetic agent, MCQ number 2. It was used by Karl Koller, MCQ number 3. It is also the first ever agent used for spinal anesthesia, MCQ number 4. It was used by a person called as August Baer, so he is called as father of anesthesia. 2 more MCQs, 6 MCQs already covered. The local anesthetic agent with vasoconstricting property is again cocaine, 7th MCQ, and which is a sympathomimetic local anesthetic agent. That is also cocaine. So you have a number of MCQs from cocaine itself, right? So anyways, we are talking about ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agents here. Your ester local anesthetic agents are metabolized by pseudocholinesterase enzyme, cocaine. Your amide local anesthetic agents, they undergo mechanism in the liver. All your amide local anesthetic agents undergo metabolism in the liver except one drug which is called as articaine. Now articaine is a popular local anesthetic agent in dental industry, and articaine is metabolized in the plasma. It is metabolized in the plasma by an enzyme which is called as plasma carboxylesterase enzyme. It is metabolized by an enzyme which is called as plasma carboxylesterase. So articaine is a drug of exception when it comes to amide local anesthetic agents. It is metabolized by plasma carboxylesterase enzyme, right? So this is about the metabolism of ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agents. What is the second point? The second point that we have to understand about ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agents is regarding the end product of metabolism. Okay. Your ester local anesthetic agents, they undergo metabolism with the help of plasma cholinesterase enzyme, and they produce an end product which is called as PABA, para-aminobenzoic acid. So what is the end product of ester local anesthetic agent metabolism? It produces something which is called as PABA or para-aminobenzoic acid. What is its clinical relevance? Because it produces a lot of para-aminobenzoic acid inside the system, this product itself can produce something which is called as allergy inside your body. So PABA is responsible for allergy. So when you compare ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agents, because your ester anesthetic agents produce PABA as its byproduct because of metabolism, they are more prone for producing allergy. They are more prone for producing allergy. This is one thing that we have to understand about ester local anesthetic agents. So when you compare ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agents, the tendency for producing allergy is going to be more with ester local anesthetic agents. Right? Now, I told you that the metabolism of ester local anesthetic happens with the help of plasma cholinesterase enzyme, and plasma cholinesterase enzyme is already present in the plasma. Right? Now, imagine you are using a local anesthetic agent. Imagine you are using a local anesthetic agent, and that local anesthetic agent is used for a procedure. Unfortunately, that local anesthetic agent has entered inside your blood vessel. Now, if it enters inside the blood vessel in large quantities, it can produce something which is called as local anesthesia systemic toxicity. Yes or no? Local anesthesia agent entering inside your vascular system in large amounts can produce local anesthesia systemic toxicity. If you compare ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agents, which agent do you think can produce more chance of local anesthesia systemic toxicity? The answer is amide local anesthetic agents. Why? Because ester local anesthetic agents are metabolized by an enzyme which is present in the plasma. So as soon as your ester local anesthetic agent enter inside the blood, it will be metabolized. Whereas your amide local anesthetic agents are generally metabolized in the liver. So they stay in the vascular circulation for a very long period of time. They will travel to the brain, cause CNS toxicity. They will travel to the heart, causing serious toxicity. So amide local anesthetic agents are associated with more incidence of local anesthesia systemic toxicity, whereas ester local anesthetic agents are associated with more incidence of allergy. Right? So this is one thing that we have to understand about ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agents. And finally, coming to the question, how do you identify ester local anesthetic agents and amide local anesthetic agents? What is the technique that we use? We use a very, very simple technique. What is the technique? You just look at the spelling. You just look at the spelling and not how many number of I's are there in the particular spelling. For example, I'm writing lignocaine here, right? I'm writing lignocaine and I'll see how many I's are there. In this particular lignocaine, I can see 2 I's. So if the spelling of your local anesthetic agent consists of 2 I's, it is basically an amide local anesthetic agent. Or if the spelling contains only 1 I, it is a ester local anesthetic agent. For example, I'll write cocaine, right? I'll write cocaine. So cocaine, if you see, there's only 1 I. So 1 I means it is basically an ester local anesthetic agent. I'll give you one more example. See, bupivacaine. You can see that there are 2 I's in the spelling of bupivacaine. So bupivacaine is basically an amide local anesthetic agent. Prilocaine. See, if you see prilocaine, you can see 2 I's in the spelling of prilocaine. So it is again an amide local anesthetic agent, right? So you do not really have to by heart all the agents and to identify whether it is an ester or amide. You just look at the spelling and see if there are 2 I's here, right? One more example, say procaine. See, procaine. Procaine also consists of only 1 I, so it is basically an ester. Now coming to our question, we have an agent which is called as dibucaine, okay? So dibucaine, right? So you know that in dibucaine spelling you are having 2 I's. So when you have 2 I's, you obviously think that it is an amide local anesthetic agent or aminoamide, right? No. Dibucaine is again a drug of exception. Dibucaine, even though it consists of 2 I's, it is an ester local anesthetic agent. That is why this question, right? It is an ester local anesthetic agent. So generally, if you want to identify a local anesthetic agent, you look at the spelling and identify if there are 2 I's, it is generally an amide local anesthetic agent or aminoamide local anesthetic agent. If there is only 1 I, it is ester local anesthetic agent. That applies for the same for all local anesthetic agents, except dibucaine. Even though it consists of 2 I's, it is an ester local anesthetic agent. Okay. I'll take you back to the question. See, lignocaine consists of 2 I's. It is an amide local anesthetic agent. Bupivacaine consists of 2 I's. It is again an amide local anesthetic agent. Prilocaine consists of 2 I's. So it is again an amide local anesthetic agent. Dibucaine also consists of 2 I's, but this is a drug of exception. This is an ester local anesthetic agent. So I hope you will have all doubts cleared with this particular question. You would have answered. Now you will be able to answer any question which come from the classification of your local anesthetic agent based on its chemistry. Local anesthesia is a very, very important topic, and in our further sessions, we'll discuss so many high-yield MCQs from this particular topic. I hope you enjoy this particular small short discussion on this particular question. I'll come up with a new question tomorrow. Thank you.
Best training, peaceful environment, PG medical entrance exam preparation were my expectations. I got them at Speed Medical Village in Kanchipuram. Today, I am a PG topper.
Speed Medical Village, a unique eco-friendly campus dedicated for PG preparation. Speed Medical Institute, a complete solution for medical education.